Hello, my dear students. Assalamu alaikum and very good morning to all of you. Hope that you are in your good health. We request you to stay indoors, stay safe because the COVID pandemic has played havoc everywhere, including in our UT, J&K. Many deaths are taking place each and every day, and we all are bereaved. And we have to take much precautions in order to keep ourselves and our family members, friends, and dear ones safe and away from the clutches of the uh, COVID pandemic. Let's start today's topic, that is talking about the text. It's given just after the end of the lesson on page number 9. Talking about the text is when the people, the first assignment for us is the when a people are enslaved, as long as they hold fast their language, it is as if they had the key to their prison. This statement is given in our text, which we have already discussed, and now what we have to do. Can you think of the examples in the history where conquered people had their language taken away from them or had a language imposed on them? We have to recall the history. If there are some examples where the people are first subjugated, their lands are annexed, or their lands are occupied, and then uh, the people, the occupants, tried to impose their own language and banned their mother tongue to speak. If there are some examples we have to discuss here, we have to uh, relate them in detail. When people are enslaved, as long as as long as they hold fast their language, as if they had the key to their prison. मतलब क्वेश्चन का ये है कि अगर लोगों को गुलाम बना दिया जाता है, तो राइटर के कहने के मुताबिक जब तक वो अपनी मदर टंग या मादरी ज़बान जब तक वो बोलते हैं, जब तक वो उनके दिलों में है, जब तक वो इस मादरी ज़बान के ज़रिए कम्युनिकेट करते हैं, उसका मतलब है कि उसकी आज़ादी की कुंजी उनके पास है. तो हमें बताना है कि क्या हिस्ट्री में, क्या तवारीख में ऐसी कुछ मिसालें हैं जब लोगों की ज़मीन को पहले उनसे छीन लिया गया या उनके मुल्क पर कब्ज़ा कर दिया गया, बाद में लोगों को क्या उनकी ज़बान पर भी हमला बोल दिया गया, उनकी ज़बान को भी बैन किया गया. ऐसी कोई मिसालें हैं. We should say that there are some particular examples in the history where the people are first subjugated, they are defeated, they are occupied, and then they were forcibly deprived to speak their mother tongue. If the language of the conquerors is imposed on them, or they are forced to ignore or not to learn their own language, they feel enslaved. as if they had the key to their prison. And we have some examples. For example, when India was under the British rule, the states like Pondicherry and Goa were under the French and Portugal rule. And as a result, English, French, and Portuguese were imposed on the people. People were humiliated. People were punished when they tried to uh, communicate through their own tongue, their mother language. British rulers felt that if the education system was changed to produce clerks in India who could write and speak English, it would be easy to manage the day to day affairs. Means if English will be set in vogue all over the India, uh, especially those people who are included or accommodated uh, in the official crew of the Britishers, then it would be easy for them to manage their day-to-day affairs, to pass directions, to pass orders, and their execution. Even after so many years after the freedom from the British rule, English is still a link language. English is a link language means it is a communication, it is a bridge between the English speakers and the Hindi speakers and other speakers of the other language, that explains the widespread use of the English in the countries like Australia or Canada, and some African countries like South Africa. And besides this, in the past, there are many examples, scores of examples where in the colonial rule where people were uh, occupied, where people were subjugated, people were overpowered, and their mother tongue, when they tried to speak their mother tongue, it was considered as a sin, as a crime, and people were humiliated and punished. Now, the question second, what happens to the linguistic minority in a state? How do you think they can keep their language alive? For example, Punjabis in Bangalore, Tamilians in Mumbai, and Kannadigas in Delhi, uh, Gujaratis in Kolkata. As we know, India is a very, very vast country, and many languages are spoken all over India. Even in some states, more than one vernacular language is spoken. Each and every individual in a free India has a fundamental right to speak or write one's own language or mother tongue. In free India, you have a right to speak your own language, speak your mother tongue according to your adopted vernacular. But where there is a linguistic minority in a state, Then what happens when the people of a particular country live in other countries? In such cases, major problem is how the people can keep their language alive. For example, we have an example, all the Kashmiri Pandits were speaking Kashmiris, but after 1989, the Pandits migrated to from Kashmir and settled in parts of India or Indian states, and uh, they many Pandits settled in Jammu also, which is part of our UT, and then state Jammu in Kashmir. But those Pandits who were grown up at that time, they settle, and they at present they have no problem to speak their mother tongue, uh, and they love to speak, love to communicate in their mother tongue. But the question is, were they able to preserve this language for their future generations? And many has succeeded to do so, and many not. They can do and same is the case with other people. For example, the people who are from Gujarat and live in Delhi, who are from Tamil Nadu and live in Calcutta, and etc. They can do so by teaching their children their mother tongue, or at least speaking to their children in their mother tongue as far as possible. The people uh, can preserve their mother tongue when they communicate, they exchange their views uh, uh, in and out, uh, or within their family members. They can speak, they can communicate each other using their mother tongue, and this is one of the uh, ways they can preserve their mother language or mother tongue. Now, question third: is it possible to carry pride in one's language too far? Do you think that linguistic chauvinism means one is deeply attached with one's mother tongue as one is attached with one's mother? As long as you love your mother, you have to love your mother tongue also. But this in this global world, one cannot confine to oneself to his or her mother tongue only. Besides your mother tongue, you have to adopt, you have to learn many languages. It does not mean that you are uh, the enemy of your mother tongue, or you are against your mother tongue, or speaking language other than your mother tongue is a sin. No, the actual thing is that you, in order to keep uh, pace with the other parts, the inhabitants of the other parts of the world, you have to do so necessarily. Chauvinism is an aggressive and unreasonable belief that our own country or our own language is better than all others. So, linguistic chauvinism means that one's own language is better than all others. Our mother tongue is usually and mostly spoken in our own region or area. And this is about the Shivanism, that you have not considered your mother tongue or your own language. You are supposed to uh, speak, that it is superior and then other languages. This is not true. We should refrain from this. English is a language that contains words from many other languages. This includes you